Hey, what's up guys? So if you're looking for a dash cam that can record for an extended period of time, there's actually a number of dash cams available now that are going to offer a special low power parking recording mode, meaning that instead of recording for maybe a day or so, instead these dash cams are going to allow you to record from anywhere between a week to up to a full year. And in this video, we're going to take a look at 5 different premium dash cams that offer this capability. We're going to take a look at the VFO A329S, the Vuroid S1 4K Infinite, the Blackview Elite 8, the Thinkware U3000, and the Vantrue N4 Pro S. And in my testing, I found 2 dash cams here that really stand out. I'm going to be comparing them both in terms of power draw, meaning how little power do they sip while the dash cam is idling, and the less power it requires, then the longer it can continue protecting your car. And then number 2, how quickly does it wake up and begin recording once it detects an impact? Some dash cams are actually pretty quick about this, but others can take so long to boot up and begin recording that the person or car that hit your car that caused that impact could actually be gone by the time the dash cam actually wakes up to begin recording. And so in this video, let's go ahead and take a look at these 5 different dash cams and figure out which ones are going to work best. Now, when it comes to parking recording, most good modern dash cams are going to offer some version of a buffered parking recording, meaning in case of an impact or something, they're actually recording continuously so that they can record not only after the impact, but also before the impact so that you can see the entire event. Now, in order to do this, though, they do have to be recording continuously, and then they only save that video file if an impact or motion or something is detected to trigger the dash cam. And there's a variety of ways of recording before an important event. It could be collision detection, motion detection, or just continuous recording at a lower video quality level to save space on the memory card. Or you could be doing something like a time-lapse video that's sped up video that gives you video only but no audio. Now, the downside, though, of these different parking recording modes is that because the dash cam is running continuously, regardless of what's going on around your car, it's going to take a fair amount of power. But in this video, we want to take a look at the low power parking record times. And the way they're all going to work here is the dash cam is typically going to be asleep. And so it's not going to be recording before any impacts. Really, the only thing that's going to be running is the G sensor. So when it detects that impact, it's going to then wake up the dash cam and begin recording. And so while the upside is going to be significantly longer parking record times, the downside is that you are going to be losing the buffered parking recording to record before any impacts are detected. And to start off our testing, let's begin here by taking a look at the power draw with all of these different dash cams when they're sitting in their idle low power parking state. And because the current draw can fluctuate slightly over time, I put in a Fluke multimeter in line here and just averaged out the current draw, and I measured all of these different dash cams here in different parking record modes. And to set a baseline, if we take a look at our traditional buffered parking recording, you can see that all these dash cams are going to pull anywhere between 300 to 600 milliamps or so. The amount is going to vary based on the parking mode you choose. Some of these are going to be 2-channel dash cams for front and rear recording. Others are going to be 3-channel dash cams with an additional interior cam. Plus, some of these have the infrared LEDs on that cabin cam turned on while others have them turned off. But either way, this chart is going to be a nice baseline for traditional parking recording. Now, if we compare it here to the low power parking recording modes, you can see that we get significantly reduced power draw here for all these different dash cams in their low power parking recording mode. Now, if we take a look at the Thinkware U3000, Thinkware has offered energy-saving parking recording capabilities for years now, and the U3000, without using its radar feature, is going to pull 11 milliamps. And if we enable its low-power radar to track vehicles around your car, it's going to go up to 17 milliamps, which is similar to the Vantrue N4 Pro S at 15 milliamps. Now, the highest power draw is actually the VFO A329S, which is the main dash cam that I run in my car. This is going to be pulling 35 milliamps. Now, the 2 best options here are the newest dash cams, the Vuroid S1 4K, as well as the Blackview Elite 8. These 2 dash cams pull just 1 milliamp. In fact, Blackview actually advertises a power draw of less than 1 milliamp. And while I don't have that level of precision in my multimeter, if I turn off the averaging capability, you can actually see it bouncing between 0 and 1 milliamp. And if we translate these power draws into parking record times with a traditional 7500 milliamp hour battery pack, with the VFO dash cam at 35 milliamps, you're going to be getting about 7 to 8 days of parking record time. Conversely, with the most efficient dash cams pulling just 1 milliamp, you're going to be getting up to a year of parking record time, which is kind of incredible. And to get the maximum amount of parking record time possible, you may want to consider getting a battery pack that does not have Bluetooth, because that little broadcasting signal to connect to your phone also takes a little bit of power. And so for the most efficient option possible, you may want to get a Bluetooth-less battery pack like the 70mAh battery pack. Next, moving on to the arguably more important metric, let's take a look at the Dashcam's wake-up times, meaning when it detects an impact, how quickly is it going to begin recording so that you've got that incident captured next time you get back to your car. And to test this out, I mounted all of the Dashcams on my windshield along with the control camera that's recording continuously, and then I can measure how long it takes between when I hit my car and each of the Dashcams begin recording. And when it comes to the fastest Dashcams, the Blackview and the Viewroid both woke up within a second or less. The ThinkWare U3000 was pretty good as well at under a second and a half, and the VFO A329S took just over 2 seconds. Now the Vantrue N4 Pro S, on the other hand, was by far the worst of the bunch, taking almost 14 seconds to wake up and begin recording. And with this long of a delay, it's very easy for the Vantrue Dashcam to miss recording the incident that actually triggered the Dashcam in the first place. Now for this low power test, I'm specifically using the power-saving collision detection feature of the Vantrue. It also offers a quick start recording mode as well. However, because it pulls 116 milliamps, I can't consider it to be a low power parking recording mode. And as for the wake up times, it's better than before. It takes about 6.8 seconds to wake up and begin recording, so it's not a buffered parking recording, which is why the power draw is lower than the other Dashcams with buffered parking recording. But either way, if you're looking for a low power parking recording mode, I would not pick up a Vantrue, and these results match what I've seen with testing some of Vantrue's other Dashcams too. Now that said, Vantrue does offer a number of other parking recording modes, such as motion detection, for example. So if you do want buffered parking recording, again, that option is available here. When it comes to the low power parking recording modes, though, specifically, that's really not Vantrue's forte. Additionally, I also want to quickly touch on the ThinkWare U3000, which has its low power radar-based feature, where basically it's going to be an energy-saving parking recording mode, but it's sending radar out both front and rear to track vehicles. So if it senses a car coming by or something, it'll wake up and begin recording, and then if an impact is detected, it'll go ahead and save that video file. This kind of gives you the best of both worlds with both buffered parking recording and low power parking recording. And because the Dashcam is going to be waking up more frequently, it's actually going to reduce your overall parking record time. However, it is a feature that I found very useful in case of hit and runs in practice. Additionally, it also looks like there's a ThinkWare U3000 Pro coming that I'm looking forward to checking out. I'm guessing it's going to be at SEMA, so make sure you stay tuned and hit the subscribe and notification bell to stay up to date as new Dashcams and more videos like this continue to go live. And so to summarize the results here, we've got the VFO A329S with its low power parking recording, which is definitely a big improvement over the traditional parking recording modes, but at a power draw of 35 milliamps and taking 2 seconds to wake up and begin recording, it's definitely not going to be one of the best options out here. We've also got the Vantrue N4 Pro S, which takes just 15 milliamps at idle. However, because it takes over 13 seconds to wake up and begin recording, it's just not a practical or viable option in my opinion. The ThinkWare U3000 is an effective option. This pulls just 11 milliamps at idle and takes about a second and a half to wake up and begin recording, which is really nice. Plus, it's also got the radar capabilities to give you more advanced low power parking recording mode too. However, the two top options here are going to be the Viewroid S1 4K Infinite and the Blackview Elite 8. Both of these Dashcams take just 1 milliamp of power or less, giving you up to a full year of parking record time. And once they detect an impact, it takes a second or less for the Dashcams to wake up and begin recording. And so for these reasons, they're going to be giving you not only the lowest power draw and the longest parking record time, but they're also going to do the best job at quickly waking up and beginning recording in case an impact is detected. And so these are two excellent options, specifically if you're looking for the low power, long-term parking recording. And down in the video description, I'll put links to all these different Dashcams, including the different variants of the Viewroid Dashcams and the Blackview Dashcams, as well as the other ones that I tested out here in this video too. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask down in the comment area below. Other than that, thanks so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.